Joey Labute Jr. was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, in 1989. Quiet and reserved even as an infant, he grew into an observant and quick-witted adult who was somewhat of a homebody. He graduated from Ohio State University in 2011 with a degree in financial planning. He took a job at Morgan Stanley and was living outside of Columbus, Ohio in 2016. On March 4th of that year, Joey was persuaded to ditch his usual Friday night routine of Netflix and video games to go out to the Union Cafe, a popular bar on High Street in Columbus's Short North District, with his cousin Stacy and her husband Kyle. The bar was unusually crowded that night because it was the weekend of the Arnold Sports Festival, an annual event that over 100,000 people traveled to Columbus for. Like many people, Joey became more relaxed and social after having a few drinks. Joey, Stacy, and Kyle were based at a table in the bar, but Joey spent most of the evening moving throughout the Union, talking to different acquaintances and dancing. After midnight, Stacy began to feel ill and wanted to leave. She could not find Joey, so she called and texted him. Joey did not answer, which was unusual for him. Hoping that Joey had decided to spend the night at the apartment of a friend who lived close to the bar, Stacy and Kyle went home. Stacy continued calling and texting her cousin until 2:30 in the morning, but never got any response. While Joey never responded to Stacy, his phone did send out one final text message after he was last seen at the Union. However, this message only deepened the mystery of what happened to him. At 1:22 a.m. on March 5th, Joey's phone sent out a one-word text message to one of his friends. The seemingly random string of letters has never been definitively found to have any sort of meaning. Joey's aunt has guessed that it may have been Joey's inebriated attempt to say Jonestown, the town where she worked and had mentioned earlier in the night when she had been texting Joey. A massive effort to find Joey began the Sunday after he was last seen. His family held vigils, and businesses up and down High Street displayed missing persons flyers. Local television stations covered the story, and Joey's picture was shared through social media. Grainy security footage turned over to the police by the Union showed Joey walking towards the bar's exit without his coat, despite the cold temperatures that night. His car was still where Joey had parked it in the lot of the apartment complex he had previously lived in with his ex-boyfriend. His bank accounts were not accessed. His cell phone remained active for approximately 2 hours after he was last seen, and GPS showed that he had remained in the general area of the Short North. 2 weeks after Joey went missing, on March 29th, his body was discovered in the Scioto River, several feet from the shore, caught on some debris. While Joey's family finally knew where he was, the discovery of his body added even more layers of mystery to the case. Joey's autopsy showed no outward signs of trauma, and the only drugs in his system were alcohol and caffeine. It would be easy to assume that Joey had either committed suicide or drunkenly fallen into the river by accident, but further examination of his body ruled these options out. There was no water found in Joey's lungs, which the coroner's office stated means that Joey was almost certainly dead before he was put into the water. The coroner's office was unable to determine Joey's cause of death. Suicide has been ruled out, and Joey's death was ruled broadly as a suspicious death. Police continue to investigate the case. As of now, however, both the cause of Joey's death and the identity or identities of those involved in it remain unknown. Anna Maciejewska was born in Poland and came to the United States to study at the University of Louisville. She and her husband, Alan Gould, lived in Malvern, Pennsylvania, with their 4-year-old son Andrew. Anna seemed to be living the American dream, building a new home and becoming a successful actuary. Despite her success in a new country, Anna still nurtured her relationship with the land of her birth. She texted and Skyped with her family back in Poland frequently, and took on a weekly 2-hour drive so that her young son could attend a Polish class and grow up fluent in her native language. It was her family back in Poland who first noticed that something was wrong in Anna's life in 2017. On March 28th, Anna spoke on the phone with her mother about a planned trip to Poland to surprise her father for his 80th birthday. This will be the last time anyone, save for Anna's husband, would report hearing her voice. The following day, she sent a text saying she and Andrew would not be coming after all. The day after that, she sent her father a birthday text, but he doubted it was from his daughter. The text was written in Polish, but contained basic errors that a native Polish speaker like Anna would not make. After several failed attempts to call their daughter and brief conversations with Alan, Anna's parents called the police in Pennsylvania from their home in Warsaw on April 11th. The same day, Anna's employer, Voya Financial, also reported her missing. Alan Gould reported his wife missing the following day. Anna had used the scheduled vacation time she had taken for her trip to Poland, despite not making the trip. On April 3rd, she had sent a text to work saying that she was ill and needed to take 7 days of sick leave, which her coworkers thought was strange. According to Alan Gould, the last time he had seen Anna was on Monday, April 10th, when she left for work at 9:45 a.m. in a hurry because she was afraid she was going to be late for an important meeting. She never arrived at work that day, or the next, which was out of character for someone as dedicated to their job as Anna. It was suspicious enough to prompt Voya Financial's call to the police. Anna's cell phone and wallet were left in her home. Her co-workers claimed that Anna never would have left home without her cell phone. On May 8th, 2017, Anna's Audi A4 was found near the entrance to some walking trails 2 miles from her home. Police say some personal items had been left inside, but the discovery of the car did little to push the investigation forward. A 40-person crew of investigators searched the surrounding area 5 days after the car was found, but did not locate anything relevant to the case. Anna's family and friends have been extremely active in the search for Anna, posting flyers, speaking to the media, and participating in physical searches. Despite the fact that they are both cancer survivors and require extensive medical care, Anna's parents make frequent, but physically taxing, trips to Pennsylvania to aid in the search for her. Anna's husband initially cooperated with police, even allowing them to search his home right after Anna disappeared, but he has since stopped cooperating with both the police and the local media, who continue to cover the case. After the first anniversary of Anna's disappearance, Pennsylvania State Police announced that they believe that Anna is a murder victim and that they are searching for her body. They have not ruled out anyone as a suspect in the case, including her husband. Twins Summer and Autumn Smith had a difficult adolescence. They had spent 3 years in foster care and had both struggled with substance abuse and mental health issues. They had lived in shelters and collected cans and bottles to use as makeshift art supplies. In their youth, they had supported each other and struggled together, but as they entered adulthood, their paths began to diverge. In 2014, shortly after turning 18, Autumn began to get her life together. She got her own apartment in her hometown of Las Vegas and had been sober for 50 days when she heard a knock on her door. It was her twin, Summer. Summer needed a place to stay, but Autumn suspected she was still on drugs. Autumn asked Summer to leave. Autumn would never see Summer again. Summer traveled to Washington State, where she mainly traveled between the towns of Everett, Marysville, and Linwood. According to acquaintances Summer made in Washington, she was spending time with a dangerous crowd. She was homeless for the majority of her time in Washington. In May of 2014, Summer was discovered sleeping on the living room floor of a home in Marysville. The home's garage door had been left open, and Summer had gone inside to have a safe place to sleep. She allegedly also admitted to the homeowners that she had taken pills she had found inside their house. The last phone call Summer had with her family was on November 19, 2014. By December, the family had begun to worry about her. They could not get her to answer their phone calls, but eventually were able to get her to respond to text messages. However, the text messages were strange and did not sound like Summer. One demanded that the family stop trying to contact Summer. Summer's phone went out of service on December 12th. On January 3rd, 2015, a man who had been hired to clean a private property south of Lake Stevens discovered a skull on the property. After searching more than 30 acres around the property, police discovered a bag of bloody bedding, a broken knife, and paperwork that belonged to Summer. Tests on the remains that were found confirmed that they were Summer's, but also determined that she had been dead when the strange text messages were sent to her family. They presumably were sent by whoever killed Summer, but who that person is remains a mystery.